Well, as you can see, folks, I'm on the border, or the bank. Hello, the bank of the Tuban River. This is a big river, and it flows all the way from the ocean over in Hoi An, all the way through Hoi An, all the way through Ancient Town. Little spillways, then it opens up again, then it narrows, then it widens, then it narrows, and it snakes its way all the way out here, and it just goes on for, I don't know, forever. And it's pretty nice. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I've been doing some exploring this morning. And part of my exploration using Google Maps was to try to find a road that goes to the banks of the river. And I found one. It wasn't really a road, it was more like a narrow dirt patch. But it got me out here, and I'm like, wow, what a beautiful view. Nice little boats doing their business, and one man over here in his little boat laying out his fishing nets, and you can see the waterway with the larger boats are used for transport of goods as well. Little hazy yet because I've done my exploring this morning. It's 9ish in the morning, and you know, on a balmy, pleasant morning, it's only 89 degrees. So this is really cool. And I'll walk in a minute here. And I'm always doing exploration for like fishing spots. Fishing spots always. And if you can find a spot that has trees and some shade, like where my bicycle is, even to stop and chat like I'm doing now, if you can find some shade, which is why I'm kind of creeping over here. I want to make sure I stay in the shade. Yeah, I can see these mountains from my house, but like a different view of them, of course. I'm about 20-25 kilometers away from home. Basically 20-25 kilometers, and basically the house is kind of over yonder. So I've kind of swung out a little bit on an arm to get out here, and I was, again, I reiterate, I was kind of looking at Google Maps, and I went down a few roads that claim to get to the bank of the river, but they ended up being dead ends with like a few scattered homes, and then like jungle, and like, you know, I could kind of see the river, but there was no access to it. And then I heard some barking dogs, and it was like, yeah, okay, I'll try another spot. And I found an area that goes through some farmlands, and then there was like this real narrow dirt track that I had to come down. And then, let me walk over here. careful I don't fall down. It's a little steep. One misstep and you're tumbling down, striking your head on these rocks, and then you're history. Nobody's coming out here to save you. I imagine if I yelled loud enough, fisherman would come by with his boat. But if I'm knocked out with my face in the water and drowning, no, that's probably not going to happen. See, if I came out here to fish, I would kind of creep down here and maybe cut some of this brush out and make myself a little seat and just fish right here while I take a big pole and fling some bait way out in the middle. Not the middle, but maybe 50 yards that way, and then just let it rest. But when I see rocks and stuff along the banks here, I'm like, yeah, there's definitely fish here. So got this big shade tree here. This is just all wild, little wild area here. And I'm in the middle of bum nowhere. A lot of farmland up over here, then some graves, and then you get back out to the main road and there's a bunch of houses and stuff. But you creep down a couple kilometers from there and you get into this spot where it's like, now I'm out of that, see all this brush, all this grass and stuff where I was standing, because it's got shade. Come out in the open here and it's just like, you know, nice grass and you can walk with no problem. The dirt patch road is up here. So I had to carefully maneuver my 50-pound e-bike down here so I could get into this little area here and look at the river. Now, I'm past senior citizen age, as you probably know. You know, do the math. So, but I still have a little bit of energy left in the body. I'm doing pretty good, so I'm gonna climb up here. I'm gonna have to pull the 50-pound e-bike back up here when I leave. This is the road that I had to come down. Perfect for the e-bike with the fat tires. Farmland, farmers over here working, and you can see the main road, like a little freeway. Main freeway back there. There's a big road that goes quite far in either direction. This little dirt track, little farmhouse here, just a stall really to store crops once they're harvested, and they got some kind of garden here that they're growing stuff. This goes quite a ways, not quite a ways, it goes a few kilometers down further, but I thought, oh, I'll just stop here. Unlike when I was living in Hoi An City, yeah, there were places to go amongst the rice fields and fish, but it was always busy. And explore, always busy, always people, always tourists, always foreigners, always this and that. But since we've come out here, and we'll be out here a year in late July. My wife says late August, but I'm sticking to my guns. I believe we moved into our house in late July. So we got through the rainy season and we got through spring. Spring weather was a little iffy, but now we're transitioning from spring into summer. It is warmer, significantly warmer, but what I'm doing is I'm back to exploring.